Hey buddies, it's Dr. Ghoulish of DAGames, and today, you know what, we're just going to do a regular intro this time. Hello my fellow Ghoul Renegade, and welcome back to a brand new video. And as you guys can tell, the long-awaited Iris Retrospective is officially here. Now, for a lot of you guys who have already read the title and the thumbnail of this video, you guys will know that I'm talking about Will Ryan's, or as he goes on by YouTube, DAGames' Iris. Now, Iris is a story that he's made, and pretty much he turned his own story into music, and it's really cool. So, I just decided, why not talk about it for a retrospective video? And I figured if I ever find topics that I find interesting, kind of like what I did with the Theft vs. Cain retrospective, I'd of course make a retrospective video and talk about it. So pretty much this video is just to help you guys understand the story, and as well as some of the songs and some of the things that happened within his story, Iris. Because as of 2023, Will is saying it's a big story year. He actually released a second channel known as Will Ryan Originals, where he's going to focus on other stories other than Iris. Although he said that Iris is the main one he's going to tackle this year. The other two stories in particular is an anthology series known as Pandorium, and another story known as Solitude. About 2 years ago, he released Solitude for just for the 30th year anniversary of Solitaire, and he ended up creating a new character for that known as Xavier Rotem. So it's going to be pretty interesting what stories Will has planned. Especially, he's already making groundway with Pandorium, the anthology series. For Pandorium, he already has two new stories known as Mercy's Garden and Hum N. So yeah, both pretty cool stories, but for this video, we're simply just going to focus on the music and story of Iris. And even some things about Will himself, as we can't learn the music without knowing the man who made the music, right? So yeah, without further ado, before we get into this video though, I do have one disclaimer, and this is a big one, so you guys might need to listen up. A lot of the information that I collected from just doing the script for research for this video, I'm going to say that some of this information is highly outdated in some aspects. So if there is conflicting dates and times, please do not put the blame on me. That is literally just the information that I found, because a lot of this info is outdated. Like, there's certain pieces on Fandom Wiki specifically that I got some of my information from, and that page has not been updated in forever. Like, if you look at Will's relationship-wise status, it still says that he's still, like, in a relationship with somebody, even though right now in 2023 he confirmed that he's single. So, like I said, if there's conflicting information, that is because that a lot of the stuff that I found was outdated. And the other thing, there is certain information that Will has released about Iris in his Discord. I unfortunately don't use Discord, so also I do not have access to that information. So if you guys happen to go into the comments and tell me what information that he talked about in his Discord, or if you're fans of Will and you come over here and see this video, just tell me that information. But please don't try to make a rude comment and say, oh, you didn't mention this in your video and you didn't put this in your script because etc. reasons like that. Because obviously, if I don't have access to the information, I can't tell you that information within my video, or I can't put it in my script. So that's a big disclaimer. But without further ado, let us move into section 1 of the video. Will Ryan of DAGames, who also goes by his full name, William Alexander Ryan, was born on April 29th, 1992. As of 2023, Will is currently 30 years old. Will's natural hair color is blonde, although through the run of his YouTube channel, we have seen him change his hair color many times, these colors being green, purple, blue, and black. Will's current residence is within the United Kingdom. Before Will started the DAGames YouTube channel, he went by many different aliases. His first one being War, which was simply an acronym of his name. He used this from 2012 to 2013. His second alias, known as Warnade, was simply just a name for his Twitch live streaming channel. He used this in 2016. His third alias, known as Epical Trance, was simply just a username for his MySpace, which is nothing more than a graveyard as of now, and the date of when he used this alias is currently unknown. His fourth alias, known as Colony, is actually a reference to a band he was in. He used this in 2007. His fifth alias, known as Onyx Colony, is actually a rename of the band Colony. He He used this in 2008 to 2016. His sixth alias, known as DAOnline, was when he first started his YouTube channel. He used this from 2012 to 2014. His seventh alias, known as DAGames, is a rename from the original DAOnline, which he used from 2014 to current day. His eighth alias, known as Iris, started all the way back up in 2016, and he's used this alias to current day. Since 2023 has rolled in, Will actually has a new ninth alias known specifically as Will Ryan Originals, which has just been created this year. I hope that you guys enjoyed Section 1. Section 1 is generally just to give you a basic outline about Will and just certain things that he used back in the day. Now, Section 2, on the other hand, we're going to go into like early careers that Will did before YouTube, and also we're going to go back to current day as well. But Section 3, guys, Section 3 is the best part of this video, I feel, personally. Sections 3 and 4 combined, I feel, are the best parts, because that's where we go into the story. And of course, there's things in my script that I'm going to add into the video, as my script just gives me a general outline of what I'm going to say. It's not specifically what I'm going to say personally, but it's just my general outline. So, without further ado, let us get into Section 2. Years before he started the DAGames YouTube channel, Will did many different things within his early career. One of the first things he did was becoming a Newgrounds animator and voice actor. In 2006, he created a series known as Comics, which became wildly popular on the site and promptly thrust him into internet fame. The second thing that Will did was being a singer, guitarist, composer, and overall rocker boy for many different bands that he was in. The very first band he joined was in 2005, and this band was known as Land of Hell. Now, when you look up this band on the internet, not much information is known, so Will's role within the band is largely unknown at this time. The second band Will joined was in 2007. The band was known as Colony. Will's role within the band was being lead singer and guitarist. Colony was later renamed to Onyx Colony in 2008, and Will's role within the band was founder, lead singer, composer, and guitarist, and Will was in Colony from 2008 to 2016. And now, as I put you up to speed to present day, Will is currently a YouTuber, composer, animator, and storyteller. Will created his YouTube channel on September 25th, 2012. The original name for his YouTube channel was Diamond Armada Online, which he used that name from 2012 to 2014. He later changed his name to DAGames, which he's been using from 2014 to current day. Will's animated projects consist of DAGames Animated and Bantermation. Will's music projects consist of nerdcore music and original songs, and Will's story projects officially consist of Iris, Pandorium, and Solitude. I hope you guys enjoyed Section 2 of the video. Now, here we are, Section 3, which is effectively what I'm starting to call the meat and potatoes of this retrospective, simply because in this section, we are solely going to go through the Iris albums. Now, in Section 4, we are going to outline the story of the Iris albums. So that's why I split them up into two sections, because originally I was going to merge them all into one section, but I realized that'd be just so long just to merge them into one section, so hence why I split them up into two separate sections. So, without further ado, let us get into the Iris albums, and let us descend into the Iris. Before we descend into the Iris albums, we should first try to consider what the Iris albums would solely be defined as. Now, I'm not talking about the genre, since we know the genre of the Iris albums is specifically heavy metal. What I'm talking about is what the Iris albums would be defined as. And even in the music industry, the Iris albums would be defined as a concept album. Now, you guys are probably wondering, what specifically is a concept album? Well, a concept album is an album whose tracks hold a larger purpose or meaning collectively than they do individually. This is typically achieved through a single central narrative or theme, which can be instrumental, compositional, or lyrical. Some of the best examples of heavy metal concept albums are Seventh Son of a Seventh Son by Iron Maiden, The Crimson Idol by Wasp, Operation Mindcrime by Queensryche, and Justice for All by Metallica, and Metropolis Part 2, Scenes from a Memory by Dream Theater. Now, with all that information out of the way, let us examine the very first Iris album known as Heart of an Artist. On December 4th, 2016, Will uploaded a video titled Heart of an Artist Iris Official Song. This video later became the first announcement for the Heart of an Artist album. On May 13th, 2018, Will uploaded a video titled Descend into the Iris. This video later became the release announcement for the Heart of an Artist album. On May 13th, 2018, the same day as the release announcement, Will uploaded a video titled Heart of an Artist Full Album Preview. And finally, on May 23rd, 2018, Will uploaded a video titled Heart of an Artist Full Album, and this is the same day that the album came out. The main track list for Heart of an Artist consists of Descend into the Iris, SOS, Draw the Line, As the Lights Go Out, Kings and Queens, Why Do We Hold, Lost Now Found, Too Dangerous, Castle That Never Dies, You're Just Making Us Stronger, Heart of an Artist, and Ascend from the Iris, with a total of 12 tracks that leaves us with an album runtime of 43 minutes and 40 seconds. There's nothing left, don't hold on to the virus, lest you deny the authority of the throne. Fall under Goliath, the complex Messiah of my fire. On September 21st, 2018, Will uploaded a video titled The Virus is Spreading. This video became the first announcement for the Goliath's Throne album. On July 18th, 2019, Will uploaded a video titled Goliath's Throne Coming Soon. This video became the release announcement for the Goliath's Throne album. On September 11th, 2019, Will uploaded a video titled Goliath's Throne Full Album Preview. And finally, on October 30th, 2019, Will uploaded a series of 14 videos, which are each equivalent to each song in the album, and it was also the same day that the album was released. The main track list of Goliath's Throne consists of Havoc Be Thy Game, Hibernation, I'm the Animal, Corporate Pain, Cold Man, Trojan, Surveillance, Bloody Ether, You're Better Off, Override and Conquer, Omen Child, Testify the Modern Eye, Goliath's Throne, and finally, Going Away. With a total of 14 tracks, that leaves us with an album runtime of 59 minutes and 20 seconds. On October 26th, 2020, Will uploaded a video titled The Jaws Have Opened. This video became the first announcement of the Jaws of Dawn soundtrack. On October 30th, 2020, Will hosted a live stream campaign known as Jaws of Dawn, and it was an expansion to the Iris story, as well as a preview for the official soundtrack. And finally, on November 1st, 2020, Will uploaded a video titled Jaws of Dawn Official Soundtrack, and it was also the same day that the soundtrack released. The main tracklist for Jaws of Dawn consists of A Soldier's Anthem, We Stand in the Line, Perilous Reckoning, A Desolate Becoming, Beast with a Million Jaws, The Hive Emerges, Rise Against the Hive, and finally, A Legend is Born. With a total of 8 tracks, that leaves us with a soundtrack runtime of 11 minutes and 6 seconds. On May 10th, 2020, Will uploaded a video titled Iris, Untitled Novel Announcement. This video became the first announcement for the Dawn of the Dimetrix album. Sometime around 2021, Will made a community post on his YouTube channel simply stating that the album would be released in autumn of 2021. During the months of May 24th to July 15th, Will would upload a series of videos known as the Valentin Renegade transmissions, and this served as our album preview for the Dawn of the Dimetrix album. And finally, on August 21st, 2021, the standard edition for Dawn of the Dimetrix would finally be released. And also, on September 21st, 2021, the deluxe edition for Dawn of the Dimetrix would finally be released. The main tracklist of Dawn of the Dimetrix Standard consists of Dawn, Rock Bottom, Dimetrix, I'll Find My Way, Plague, Biobond, Vengeance, Into the Beyond, Mothohive, I'm Sorry, Feet Lolia, and Peace Be Thy Name, with a total of 11 tracks that leaves us with an album runtime of 53 minutes. The main tracklist for Dawn of the Dimetrix Deluxe consists of the first 12 tracks plus their instrumentals and 2 bonus tracks known as We Will Reform and Biotide, with a total of 13 tracks that leaves us with an album runtime of 1 hour and 9 minutes. Before we end off Section 3, I would like to give a few honorable mentions to the cancelled albums of Iris that we never got to see. These albums are Heart of an Artist Deluxe, Heart of an Artist Resurrection, Goliath's Throne Deluxe, and Under the Vice. I hope you guys enjoyed Section 3, and now we are officially here at Section 4. In this section, I'm simply going to be explaining the story of Iris. Now, before we get into Section 4, I would like to give you guys a piece of advice of what I plan to do, because I'm going to change this section a little bit. Now, this is kind of in relation to the last retrospective I did, but not much. So anyway, in the heading where I put like all my words of like what I'm talking about within that section, I am separating the lore of Iris into 2 parts. So when I talk about the stories individually in the album, it's going to be separated into 2 parts. One that I consider the old lore of Iris, so the one where Will first started writing it and it was all kind of left up to interpretation by the fans and not really as clear, but it was still pretty clear. And then the new lore of Iris is like everything we know now up to present day. So basically, the old lore of Iris, I'm separating that specifically into Heart of an Artist and Goliath's Throne. Now, the new lore of Iris, I am separating that into Jaws of Dawn, Dawn of the Dimetrix, and Forward. So basically, old lore, Heart of an Artist, Goliath's Throne. New lore, Jaws of Dawn, Dawn of Dimetrix, and everything that we know now in the present. So beginning of Behemoth, Hither and Yonder, all of that different stuff. So I'm going to be talking about all that stuff here. So yeah. I just wanted to explain that so you guys don't get confused throughout this section, as sometimes it can be confusing of what I'm talking about. So, without further ado, let us get into Section 4. Before we take a dive into the story of each and every Iris album, we must ask ourselves 3 very important questions. Where did the name of Iris come from? Where did the concept of Iris come from? And most importantly, what is the main story of Iris? On August 19th, 2011, Will made a post on his Twitter account responding to a fan who asked him where the name of Iris came from. Will simply stated, Iris used to be known as a technology firm that I always wanted to create back in the day. It always meant Eye of the Beholder, so to speak. Then I realized tech was already evolving, so when it came to separating the music on DAGames, I revived the name and stuck to the same. On May 14th, 2018, Will uploads a video titled Heart of an Artist Rundown. Within a small section of the video, Will explains where he came up with the concept of Iris, and as well as how it relates to his first album, Heart of an Artist. As he states, the Iris is an homage reference to back in the day when I had an Onyx Colony album called The Encrypt, in which that was about your own mental asylum in your head, the many obstacles you have to go through when being emitted inside of this, the mental scars that you gain from it, but the lessons you learn. Heart of an Artist is pretty much like that, except it's more or less of an asylum, but more so the eye of the beholder as a metaphor. On November 22nd, 2022, Will makes a post on his Twitter explaining the story of Iris after just uploading his latest Iris lore video known as Hither and Yonder, in which he states, our story will focus on the universe that was created, how a powerful emblem was stolen, how a world turned upside down in a matter of minutes, and how it came to heal. On January 11th, 2023, Will made a post on his Twitter explaining all the different stories that he does on his second YouTube channel known as Will Ryan Originals, and this was the description for his story, Iris, Vegala Infinity and its 2 realms on the edge of death, fighting over an ancient artifact of archival bound by one being strong enough to bring balance back to a Yonder deprived of selflessness and gripped in totalitarian clutches. As of 2023, the known Iris story arcs are as follows: Hither and Yonder, Jaws of Gala, Beginning of Behemoth, Jaws of Dawn, Behemoth, Valentin Renegade, Baltorne, and Goliath's Throne. On May 14th, 2018, in Will's video Heart of an Artist Rundown, Will explains his own interpretation of the song Heart of an Artist and also as an album as a whole. As he states, Heart of an Artist is a reflection of everything that's happened before that. The subject matter that you've had to overcome, everything is a little reflection, and that is the true Heart of an Artist. It's not meant to be just about art. It's not supposed to be like drawings or movies or music. You know, art comes in human form too. We are spirits of our own art, and that forms the entire thing. On October 16th, 2019, Will uploaded a video titled The Story of Goliath, Havoc Be Thy Game. Within the beginning of the video, Will outlines the story of Heart of an Artist whilst introducing his second album, Goliath's Throne. Will states this: "For Heart of an Artist, we sort of brought an idea that there's this troubled soul that had been going through many different stories, or reflections of his life, and was finally able to come out of the other side, and now we are starting to see his rise." To better understand the story of Goliath's Throne as a whole, let us look at the description that the album gives us. As it states, Goliath's Throne is a continuation from Heart of an Artist. It introduces our main character, the Goliath. This beast is the result of 1,000 years of oppression, torture, and agony. Every sickness you've seen, there's a chance that the Goliath has lived to see the day as well. A victim of self-harm, taken from life at such a young age, brought into the Iris to be given a second chance of redemption, his very own retry button. Finally being able to find the strength to ascend from the Iris once again, retaking his rightful throne, this brings us to the second album, the Goliath's abuse of said power. The album is about the world, specifically the 21st century and its corporate mediums, social media toxicity, the offset effects of becoming addicted to it, and so much more. This is the Goliath's protest against the savage ages, but with every protest comes consequence, and as such, the Goliath will see his punishment soon enough. On October 30th, 2020, Will uploaded a video titled Iris, Jaws of Dawn Live Campaign. Jaws of Dawn was an expansion to the Iris story itself, but Will used the medium of the game Dungeons & Dragons to tell this story as a prequel of events to his third and final album, Dawn of the Dimetrix. To better understand the story of Jaws of Dawn as a whole, I'm going to be giving you guys a full recap of everything that happens within the story. This version of the story that I will be using is from a video Will uploaded titled Beginning of Behemoth, as I feel this is the best version of the story. Many eons ago, before our main protagonist, known only as the Goliath, was born, the story of Jaws of Dawn follows two strays from other worlds wandering the universe in search of the Iris emblem. These two strays eventually land on the dark volcanic world, known only as the Depths, as they become the first two new souls to wander this volcanic abyss in search of what they desire. These two souls are eventually to be revealed as Goliath's parents, known as Father Tyrant and Lady Fate. After many days and even months of wandering the dark volcanic landscape of the Depths, Father Tyrant and Lady Fate make their way to a summit known only as the Apex. Once Tyrant and Fate have climbed to the top of the Apex, they finally meet the ruler of this new planet, a dark and evil man known only as King Vicen Pavavory, along with his own tribe, also known as the Pavavory. Tyrant and Fate quickly challenge Vicen and his tribe to a duel in what Vicen likes to call a mere trial by fire, since he does not believe in peace and order. He only believes in evil and chaos. After the duel has ended between our two heroes and the Pavavory tribe, King Vicen Pavavory is quickly dethroned. Him and his tribe are about to be banished from the planet of the Depths forever. Tyrant quickly casts out his staff and opens up a wormhole to a dark, endless void known only as the Damned. But before Vicen and his tribe are quickly banished forever, Vicen only has one thing to say. Pick the fruit from the tree, and it will come down. With no Plato beholding, comes the end to the crown. As thee cast blindness to the shadows up there, lay waste to the paradigm born from blackness glare. Not even we of coal may proclaim victory, as a deep looming manifest will create darker history. Bipolisian, Claustronoctus, Exosax, Tormentus and Grief, their immortality would thrive, as when all would join forces, bring out the Motho Hive. Heed those words well, and pray not go unguided, such as the Pavavory's final smile, when your world becomes surely divided. We will never be too far, so perish as you have already decided. After the former King Vyson and his tribe were quickly banished from the depths forever, Father Tyrant and Lady Fate heeded his foretelling of the prophecy and took it into account. Yet only moments later, Vyson's fortress walls began to leak a brand new substance, a purification liquid which Lady Fate later named as Omen Water. Father Tyrant and Lady Fate quickly take up the mantle as the new king and queen of the planet of the depths and decide to bring order to the planet by making new decrees which ensure peace, order, and harmony. Father Tyrant and Lady Fate quickly use the power of the Iris emblem to protect their brand new home and colony, but yet they both figured out that the Iris emblem was capable of far more things than just handling spiritual essence. Thus, Lady Fate combined the Omen Water rivers with the power of the Iris emblem, bringing them an extra level of protection and also delegation between corrupt souls and good souls. Souls who were good, who washed themselves within the Omen Water, were reborn into the Onyx colony and was able to live there forever within the afterlife. Yet souls who were corrupt, who washed themselves within the Omen Water, were banished to the same endless void as Vyson and his tribe. Many years have passed, and the planet of the depths has officially been fully colonized, yet to the point of overpopulation. Father Tyrant, knowing that he cannot willingly banish good souls, decides to train them up as the Arcanian soldiers, controllers of fire, lightning, and water, as they stand on the borderlines to protect the colony and their home. One day, while the Arcanian soldiers were training, they accidentally open up a wormhole, and a brand new substance is born. This substance is later known as dark matter. Yet up in the sky, tiny little creatures known as paradigm worms begin to leech off the planet of the depths whilst digging underground towards the core of the planet. Father Tyrant, of course, had planned for a day like this and decided to enlist 20 of his best Arcanian soldiers, along with a few Legion soldiers, to go on a quest to save their planet from destruction. As of now, the new dawn has officially begun. After many days of wandering the hellish landscape of the planet of the depths, Father Tyrant, Lady Fate, and the Arcanian soldiers come across 3 giant beasts, the first being the Claustronoctus, feral and feline-esque, the second being the Bipolisian, an 8-legged nightmare, and finally, the Angzosax, an aviator of destruction. The Arcanian soldiers, Tyrant and Fate, quickly fight off these beasts, and they flee, never to be seen again. After the defeat of the 3 beasts, Father Tyrant, Lady Fate, and the Arcanian soldiers quickly make their way to the Cave of Blind Fortunes. Tyrant orders the Fire Arcanes to stand outside the cave and to light up a crucible known only as the Gauntlet, whilst Tyrant, Fate, and the Water and Lightning Arcanes go inside the cave to squish as many paradigm worms as they possibly can. Once the Fire Arcanes have fully lit up the Gauntlet, it is revealed that Tyrant, Fate, and the Arcanian soldiers are not alone, as the Grief Worm, the beast with 1,000,000 jaws, makes his appearance. The soldiers and Tyrant and Fate quickly defeat the Grief Worm, but yet they are very badly wounded, so they decide to rest and take camp for the night. After a necessary night of rest and healing up, Father Tyrant, Lady Fate, and the Arcanian soldiers decide to head back home, as they feel they have won the battle and that victory was most certainly theirs. But yet, little did Father Tyrant and Lady Fate know that things were only just beginning, as the sky quickly turned a blood red, and all of the dark matter from all of the beasts that they fought culminated into one giant being, the most terrifying beast in all of the Iris universe. The prophecy of Vyson had finally come true. The Motho Hive has ignited. One by one, Father Tyrant, Lady Fate, and the Arcanian soldiers take the fight to the Motho Hive. Yet, one by one, all of the Arcanian soldiers fall, except for one. As the last Arcanian soldier takes his stand against the Motho Hive, he too dies trying. Lady Fate and Father Tyrant look around and realize they have no more soldiers left. But then, Tyrant thinks of a brilliant idea. A bit of an obtuse plan, but he thinks it just might work. Tyrant opens up a wormhole to the endless void known as the Damned, and talks to the former king of the depths, King Vyson Pavavory. Father Tyrant and Vyson have a conversation, to which Vyson provides Tyrant a healing talisman to heal the Arcanian soldiers. Yet this healing talisman is a devil's bargain, and it comes at a price. When Father Tyrant and Lady Fate have their firstborn is forever to be tortured for all of eternity by the souls of the damned. Knowing this compromise, Tyrant walks back through the wormhole and flips the healing talisman. The Arcanian soldiers are officially revived, and they lead one final attack on the Motho Hive. Father Tyrant quickly takes charge and lands one last strike upon the Motho Hive, stopping it with his staff. But yet, whilst he's shielding the blow from everybody else, the Motho Hive draws blood from Father Tyrant and Lady Fate. Yet it turns out the Motho Hive is a surrogate. The belly of the Motho Hive begins to glow a bright yellow, and it lays an egg as it collapses and dies. Father Tyrant and Lady Fate, being badly wounded from the blow of the Motho Hive, decide to look inside the egg and find that a new species is being born. It is neither human nor dark matter, but something entirely new. And on this day, our main protagonist, the Omen Child, known also as the Goliath, was officially born. And that is the tale of Jaws of Dawn. To better understand the story of Dawn of the Dimetrix as a whole, let us look at the description that the album gives us. Dawn of the Dimetrix is a prequel to Goliath's Throne, but a continuation to Heart of an Artist, as well as adding a brand new timeline for the upcoming novels based off of Iris. One very big major thing to note here is that the Dawn of the Dimetrix story is actually split up into two parts. The very first part is the Untitled novel announcement, which gives us a very detailed overview of the story and the album itself as a whole. The second part is the Valentin Renegade transmissions. The Valentin Renegade transmissions mainly follows our main villain within the Iris story, known as Abram Valentin, and also along with his artificial intelligence known as Dovacom, as they use the power of their fake Iris emblem, also known as the Dimetrix, to enslave and take over the minds of all the people on their planet of Nodoria, which is the Iris universe's stand-in for our planet, Earth. But without further ado, let us look at the very first part of the Dawn of the Dimetrix story. Let us look at the Untitled novel announcement.
The eye of the beholder will always see a different shade of green in this field of gold. For what we see is but a selfish perspective, the very thing that makes us not see eye to eye. The scrolls tell us of a time eons ago that lived two worlds connected in the galaxy, so close and yet so far. A bridge made of ether, strongest ancient element on the planet. There lives Earth, a rich land filled with mindless puppets. Then, the depths, a volcanic world, home to a colony that brings balance to the Earth. Light has never existed without darkness, just as it is on the other foot. For years there had been balance. The depths were responsible for bringing darkness to a world of light where it was needed. In the depths held the most powerful element in existence, an emblem so beautiful, shimmering, and yet so unbearably powerful. They call it the Iris. Some say they have descended into its divine wisdom, the images it preserved for centuries, and have never lived to tell the tale, nor have they lived to ascend again. It is the very key that possesses your memories, their memories, and opens up a world of punishment and redemption. The power of this emblem does not come without consequences, nor does it come without reward. For those who are able to harness its power will have an unholy level of knowledge. The world would be your toy, and you would be its master. Everything that ever happened, is happening, or is yet to happen, will become yours to see. They say only one such being can harness and tame its uncontrollable matrix. It has been locked in the sky of the depths, to stay there for an eternity, and to oversee the balance this colony brings to Earth. Somebody one day will hold it, and the depths has only one hope, that the beholder can control themselves. The power it contains is not to be used irresponsibly, for it will shatter the existence of this galaxy as we speak. Guarding the Iris are two brave kings and queens of the depths. The colony's ruler, Tyrant, with his trusty Havoc scythe, and by his side, Lady Fate, with her Omen glass. The two swore to protect this land, control the colony, and bring balance to the bridge that connects them to Earth. However, there are darker matters in the universe which cannot be contained by just the Iris alone. An asylum was made, entirely out of the very ground they walk on, a cursed stronghold called the Encrypt. where all of humanity's biggest nightmares are held. Guarding the gates of the Encrypt is the only one supposedly strong enough to withstand such pain this asylum bleeds. Our main protagonist in this age-old tale, who goes only by one name, Goliath. Word spreads he is the Omen child Lady Fate and Tyrant weren't planning on having, a freak accident after trying to form a united family. This one-man army has withstood many a test of time with the Encrypt, as well as threats to the depths. As for the Onyx colony themselves, with their skeletal mesh, glowing lantern eyes, and collapsing veins able to shapeshift dangling from their ligaments, their allegiance is with Tyrant. This makes it all the harder for Goliath to unlock his true potential. Nightmares stay, darkness leaves, balance is in order. Or so they thought. Planet Earth, abused and ignorant. It's been this way since life began. But this isn't the world of today, young traveler. For this is merely part of one of our vicious cycles eons ago. Technology's materials existed way before your time, and with it, the darkest ages occurred, much like your world today. There too lived ancient ritualists, hibernating in the forests, seeking out a new life away from the deadly curse that plagued Earth. The tribe's leader, Jebediah Dunford, resided on the outskirts of their tribe, hidden further away into the woods, living in a large wooden cabin. With this native tribe's way of life, nature was their core. For every tree that is cut down, 2 more must grow before them. Their own colony had overgrown and passed the line that separates the government and them. This was about to anger the government more than they knew. Their land was in grave danger. The world became tired of their heritage, their invasion of the land, and largely prophesized gossip. This tribe has been trying to convince the world that a larger reckoning is coming, and Earth is cursed to live a life with scripted darkness. They're about to be mowed down. Any resistance meant the people who inhabit the tribe will also die alongside the demolition. Families doomed to share bloodshed. Innocent lives burdened with the cruel fate they were about to bring. Suddenly, a large and strange object crash-landed 5 miles outside their tribe. Everyone runs to the flames. The fog eventually faded to reveal a new crater caused by the collision. This material was ether. The bridge has been growing weaker since its creation. The galaxy is turning a new leaf, and the bridge only had a matter of time before it needed to be restored. The tribe's fate was about to be tested. Swarms of army squadrons infiltrating the tribe. The bang of flash bombs, the screams of army soldiers being ordered to move in, hold their fire and wait for their next command. From the distance reveals a silhouette walking towards the crater. Jebediah is shocked to discover it's none other than the very being that rules over this planet. Abram Valentin. He approaches Jebediah with an impatient smirk on his face. He is told of the ether boulder. He stood still, shocked at this discovery. Alas, he felt the need to take credit for another man's hard work. Abram cackles, becoming impatient. Behind the laughter is the embodiment of an angry beast. Jebediah proudly fronts to protect the boulder and their land. Silence seeps through the air for a brief minute. Abram's smile growing wider and ghastlier. He reaches into his pocket, still laughing uncontrollably. The tribesmen had sensed happiness finally. Their message was heard. Abram finally pulls out his hand from his pocket. A large black and red pistol with a silencer is revealed, as he slowly points towards Jebediah's head. "I'll give your thanks to my rolling grave," whispers Abram. Moments later, a large bang is heard, right between the eyes. Poor Jebediah is shot dead. He slumps to the ground in his own pool of blood as it leaks closer to the family watching. Shrieks of innocent people are heard, children crying in fear, adults running for their lives. Things started to become a bloodbath. With tears down his eyes, he commands his crew to retrieve the boulder of ether and destroy the tribe. Abram and his army made retreat back to the main base of operations, a large building of titanium, retina scanners, a giant building composed of 3 thick walls that protrude outwards. large surveillance systems surrounding the exterior and interior, all with armed turrets to attack anything unauthorized on sight. Guarded by 10,000 squadron soldiers, each with different rankings, this was the fortress of everything that ruled over Earth and its people, supposedly to protect them. This building was to be named the Domeplex. Inside this colossal infrastructure held several lab facilities, biochemical quarters, tech stations, and an oracle treasury where all the world's money is protected and all of the many strange inhabitants from centuries of preservation. After much discovery, the science rats had made discoveries about the ether material. They discovered its material is a stronghold guard to the other side, or for what we know, the depths. The prophecies were true. Another world about to bring a reckoning to Earth. The scientists believe this to be true. They find sightings of an iris-like emblem. They predicted the emblem to be the key for opening gates to other universes. Though they had no proper dimensions to reference the iris, Abram had even bigger plans. Instead of retrieving the iris, they'll create a new one. Several months go by. The boulder has been carved to its core. The material glows and erupts a destructive carnage in the lab. It is revealed they have made a replica emblem. Among the fog revealed a gate opening. The bridge can be seen in the distance, leading to the depths. This discovery gave Abram a sparkle in his eyes. The plan has been set. Surround the depths and destroy everything. When asked what to call the emblem, they decided to go with none other than the Dimetrix. They proceed with their plan. Suddenly the fake emblem opens up the gate to the other side. The depths is now compromised. However, the emblem had other plans that Earth never could have predicted. An unprecedented amount of power cloned the iris's divine essence. The Onyx colony below bows before a new king. They've been hypnotized. They believe the Dimetrix is their true emblem. They now only have one mission: kill the Protectors. They suddenly turn on Tyrant and Fate, knocking down the castle walls and pinning them down while stealing their souls. A large shriek is heard in the distance. Suddenly, Goliath hears the echo. Shocked by what he heard, he sprinted to the castle, took down the horde. They lay helpless on their last legs. The Goliath kneels down to them, as they say in their last dying breaths how proud they are of him for growing up so much. The iris is now unprotected. The two tell Goliath to grab the emblem and close the gates with it. He was to be the chosen one. Finally, after Fate sings a soft lullaby to her son, Tyrant proudly whispers, "I love you, son." They perish. Goliath, now riddled with anger and rage, runs towards the emblem, grabs it from the sky, lunges straight into the gate. But as he attempts to close it off, suddenly, a flash of white waves through the planets. The gate is shut. The light faded, and left behind nothing but rubble. The depths was no more than a graveyard. No survivors, no hope left. Nobody but one man had survived the blow. That man, our protagonist, Goliath. But not how he used to be. He is now but skull and bones. You couldn't recognize him. This realization gets him to pat down his body. He touches his face. There's a strange engraving in his right eye. He runs to the lake and discovers the iris emblem had merged with his body. Ether particles lay surrounding him. Suddenly, two slithers of ether move toward him. They lunge onto his back, grow larger than ever before. Their fangs erupt and eyes glow a glaring red. Their spines are their skin. Behold, the ether snakes. They inject him with a large essence of venom. Struggling in panic, he somehow stays alive, and yet stronger at the same time. Something tells him those new pets of his knew more than he did. With so many questions, our adventure begins for Goliath to find himself, what happened before the explosion, how he will one day save his own world and restore the depths forever. This is our age-old tale. of Iris.
Now that you guys have a generalized plot for Dawn of the Dimetrix, now let us look at part 2 of the Dawn of the Dimetrix story, my personal favorite, the Valentin Renegade transmissions.
To my loving family, if you are reading or hearing this, chances are I, Gabriel Valentin, have fallen. I can't imagine the pain you're all feeling at a time like this. To my fellow subjects, your hospitality, kindness, and spirit made what was impossible possible. My duty was to continue the Valentin legacy passed down from my mother, Grace Valentin. In a new day and age of technology, we continue to unify our scientific studies and our connections with the tribe to bring you new tools. I do hope the Cairo chips serve you well. Who would have thought? Paying for your groceries by just thinking about it. Some could call that magic. As a further token to you all, on this day, it will be celebrated as Valor Day, the world's day of vacation. 50% of my assets are to be put back into housing millions more civilians stricken by the clutches of poverty, and to the tribe for assisting us in working together, unifying the world once more. Please prosper, and continue to be the shining beacon you all can be. And thank you for allowing me to serve you. To my sweet darling, Bethany Valentin, I do hope you're handling the news well. I don't want that smile to ever leave your precious face. We made it to the big 40, didn't we? 40 long and unregretful years together, raising two of the most wonderful children. To you, I give you the rest of my assets, the other half of our love and grace necklace, and a special key just for you. I trust you know what I'm talking about. Please keep an eye on the boys for me as well. Keep them out of trouble if you must. To my sons, Jebediah and Abram, my boys. Words cannot describe how proud of you both I am. You're growing up to be fine gentlemen. I know the two of you don't see eye to eye, but I have a feeling you two are going to need each other now more than ever. Smiths, let it be known that I entrust both of my sons to the position I leave behind. Call it a future coalition. Two brothers working together side by side. I couldn't think of anything better. Finally, a special message to Abram, my eldest. This is a big responsibility you must take as the eldest, so please make sure Jebediah is kept protected and safe at all costs. Our Smiths will help guide you, as well as the artificial intelligence I'd created, Dovacom. I think you're really going to get along well with them. Just don't forget to keep smiling, boys. Bethany, the world, thank you for always believing in me. I love you all so very much. Oh, P.S. In the event of a crisis, in my coffin, I would like the key to resetting everything buried along with me. I do trust my boys with my life, but with such big responsibilities, I'd rather they not have too hard of a job. Please protect them. Keep them out of harm's way. I love you all so much. Do be Can we turn this off, please? It's too much. Turn it off.
Dawn is about to begin, and our new world order will soon come to fruition. I've been waiting far too long to smell that bittersweet victory. That man? I wouldn't even call him so much a figure in my life as he was more of a homewrecker. Ruined our precious family, and maybe even the world if he hadn't have dropped to his knees. I've spent years undoing everything he made, and now we're drawing ever so close to our plans falling into place. I wish you'd stop bringing that man up. He built this world in his own image. Seems perfect, does it not? Ah! It's a world crafted by a liar, a drunken fool, strong-willed, Was that why I had to see him kill Mother? Was that why he had me dig her up in the middle of the forest? Is that why he dug his own grave, right where she lay? And now, here I am, picking up the slack. Well, none of this will do. I have to undo everything he made, create a new world in my vision. I won't have this world laced by a liar's grace anymore. One shot from the barrel, full throttle. Just another day at the bottom of a bottle. Stupid rock! We've been carving it for days and it feels like we aren't making progress at all! I don't know what their obsession was with these lifeless organisms. But he's home now. Still as useless as ever, and dare I say, even more useless now. We locked him up in the cryogenic lab where he belongs. What on God's green grass is going on? Snitch, why is it blowing? Is this thing on? God blast it! Just get the hell away from that thing! What did we just witness? And what was that dark creature hurling toward us? Dovacom, explain!
Analyzing material manifestation. Unknown material acquired. Dark matter. It seems this rock was capable of opening up a portal to another world or dimension. Perhaps a multiverse paradox forced their world and ours to collide.
My God! Can we reopen it?
Unfortunately, because we do not have the scientific equation, equipment, materials, nor time, we have no way of simulating the events of the past 5 minutes.
So, this thing is useless now. Served its purpose? How unfortunate.
Sir, the material is still showing large temperature readings. Our light is still emitting. We may be able to repurpose this border for something new.
We can't let the people turn against us. This will be all over the news. The people. Yes, that's it. Dovacom. See if we can get any use out of this boulder by connecting it to all of our infrastructure.
Consider it done, sir. Studying it now.
This thing is a dime a dozen. We'll trick its magic into our own game. We'll call it the Dimetrix.
Project Dimetrix initiated.
I must study this thing further. But what the... It's usually sitting here. Has someone stolen my Dover visor? I'll have your head if you don't do it now! It's glowing. We've done it! Dovacom, status on retrieving signal.
Status indicates satellites are in sync with the Dimetrix. Downloading all data twice the speed. New element added. Ether.
Ether? And what about output?
Analysts suggest power is limited and will require extra power to continue usage.
Of course, there's always a crux, isn't there? We must do better than that floating magical orb we found. What's the secret?
It seems an energy only one inlet is required for ether to fully utilize its power.
What? So you're telling me we need that magic?
Sir, if I may, you keep creating it. It will never truly be the same.
You dare test me, Dovacom! Find me an alternative, or I will obliterate your central data core!
Assessing world's resources.
Remind me to install an empathy BIOS next time.
Alternative acquired. Kinetic energy from our human inhabitants can be retrieved by hacking into their brain chips synced to the satellites, which can be fed into the Dimetrix. But it won't be enough. We need a central core to have it all operational.
And we'll focus on that later. That must be what the magic symbol must have been using. I know this. I've done my research. Ask all of my friends.
Friends, sir?
Just get to work!
Of course.
In all of my years, I've never been so disappointed!
Sir, despite all efforts to hack into the brain chips, there appears to be several setbacks. After strict analysis, while all memory banks are still intact, cognitive behavior has disappeared. It seems they are not the same anymore.
Not the same? What, have they suddenly just forgotten how to think?
Not quite, sire. It seems what we are gathering is a rather unsafe imbalance. Chaotic energy readings are emitting from our human inhabitants. Insufficient levels of vitamins Z, neurotransmission unstimulated. It appears they are vastly more enraged than ever before.
Angry? Well, I would be too if their world was ruled over by an anarchist.
Sir Valentin, I urge you to look outside now!
Oh, perfect. Has my loving audience come to graces once more?
I wouldn't call them loving!
What? I don't understand. Why are their eyes glowing yellow? This is incredibly abnormal. But look, over there! They're all throwing each other under the bus. They seem to be feeding everybody unfinished building materials and for beating each other up with it. I dare say, it's the most pathetic and most hilarious thing I've ever seen in the past few years.
Like I was saying, sire, they are lacking sufficient balance needed to keep their cognitive behavior alive. They are unlike their past selves.
So they're mindless meatbags walking the world. Well, I dare say, that makes things much easier to take over. Keep them in line. The Dimetrix will undoubtedly be enough to keep them in order.
Dimetrix protocol activated.
They're leaving! Sir Valentin, they're retreating!
Back to work you go! Ta-ta, you brainless half-wits!
Sire, as I suggested beforehand, we don't have enough power to keep the Dimetrix operating this much. We need a central core to keep the kinetic energy going in full circle.
Excuse me? Why?
Have you ever heard of a circuit board, sire?
Have you ever heard of defragmentation?
Apologies, sire, but if I must recommend, it might very well be time to put your new biotechnology to the test.
Project Biobond? You think that might work?
Provided you have a sufficiently compatible vessel, I can confirm the kinetic energy can resonate with enough force through our combination of biology and technology.
A new vessel? Well. It seems we might actually have a purpose for him after all. I found the perfect lab rat. Welcome home, brother. It's been all too long. I don't care! Open the door!
Sir, think of your well-being. It's safer that you don't see him like
Do
this.
you think I could give any less of a damn? I demand to see my family now!
So long as you know what you're getting into.
I should have your head chopped off the shoulders they rest on! Now step aside, or I'll make it a reality!
Very well. Requesting immediate authorized entry for Sir Valentin.
Locked out of my own facilities. I'm the hierarchy here! You were always locked away, weren't you, brother? You know, I picked up after this family for so long, trying to rebuild what was so very corrupt. What were you doing in that time? Making peace with strangers in a forest. Always so useless. That's how you see all this progress? A cruel punishment? Have you ever wondered why dictatorship exists, brother? People are so bent out of shape, fickle-minded. Dictators are here to bring order to a world that is so unbalanced. Freedom. Shut up! Oh, I'm sorry. Pain? It hurts? Oh, bless your feelings. What of it? Going to have your tree friends cradle you like a baby? Nobody was ever there for me when I needed help. How on earth were you going to help me? Our father made an empire that needed to be reformed. You ran away from that opportunity. You left me to rot. It's about time you came home and made proper use of yourself. Now you can feel the pain I have been grieving alone with for decades. You really think Father's still looking down on us? Oh, if I could only speak to him now and tell him how much I hated him. But it would amount to nothing.
Sire, preparations for the showcase are almost complete.
Brother, I don't quite imagine you ever got the grandest scale of your kindness, did you? You were always so sweet, so dedicated to love. Tell me, what if the world got to see how kind you really were? Oh, put a sock in it, you ungrateful sap. You want to show the world love? I'll give you your grand entrance! Fellow subjects, feast your delicate attention towards your ruler, Valentin! After many months of silence, some of you may find yourselves at the wit's end of chaos. Take a good look at what your world has become. Anarchy, flames, vapors riddled with sickness. Are you happy to be living in this world? Well, fear not. Subjects, what I'm about to show you is the key to rejuvenating this city and its people. It'll mark the end of dystopia and bring in a new age of energy. I would like to present to you our finest circus attraction we like to call Project Biobond! Isn't it such a marvel to behold? Now I know many of you might be wondering what this means. What you see in this large tank is the nervous system of a living human being who merely sacrificed themselves to be a part of the new beginning. This kind and gentle man is my brother, Jebediah. Bless his soft and squishy heart. Oh, you just want to hug him to death. This fine addition to the Domeplex allows us to recycle those harmful chemicals floating around the ecosystem and usher out pure natural vitamin C into the air, filtered through this central core. Oh, and while we're at it, this core is connected to our brand new emblem above the Domeplex. See it up there? It's very nice, isn't it? I made it! Allowing us to channel new and refreshing signals to your Cairo chips, blasting through dozens of satellites in the sky, right back down to you. Meaning your gadgets will return to normal again. With this, we can recycle our tarnished fumes and bring back the world a new and prosperous energy source. Oh, what am I saying? You folks want a show? You have got it! Dovacom, initiate the project!
Project Dimetrix activated.
Are you starting to notice anything different, citizens?
New frequencies added to the Cairo chip library. Transferring data now.
Oh, and don't worry about our noble sacrifice, folks. That siren is not of pain and grief. This is merely a cry of joy. Watch as he swims around the tank. Why, he's so very happy. All right. Keep that fun to yourself. Get rid of this guy, huh? Hogging all the fun. Of course, this is just the beginning. We call upon you, our fellow plague walkers. We will soon be rolling out an enrollment process for you to volunteer your time and services to the cause. The more people we have, the more energy we can bring back to our planet. And pray to the heavens beyond we may be able to bring ourselves back to reality. We have switched the tides of our previous rulings. We are no longer the Valentin legacy. We are the Valentin Renegade!
Sire, I don't mean to intrude, but a matter of urgency has arisen.
If it's anything to do with accounting, you know that isn't my division, that's downstairs.
Sire, I don't think accounting is the real threat, given everyone is now playing.
Oh, splendid, then false alarm, back to the grind!
I'm afraid that is not an option right now.
Dovacom, are you here to grace me with kisses or slice my throat? Which one?
Depends on which you would like first.
Spill the news for goodness sake!
I have detected large energy signals scattering just outside of our atmosphere, transcending across the cosmos. It seems a star must have exploded in outer space.
And you deem this as a threat? How?
Well, sire, when you couple the galaxy's happenings with the current resistance from our plague walkers, it seems some of that energy might have helped bring back partial sentience.
But they're resisting? I thought the Cairo chips were working perfectly!
Several civilians causing this world are roaming without Cairo chips, as the program was initially an optional implement. Several vigilante justice groups have banded together to swarm the Dimetrix.
But did they not see the reception we gave them?
Sire, even you know all of that was a lie, and it seems some civilians saw right through it. I heavily advise we proceed with caution. Grace, communication will be key.
Do you really think these peasants will listen to Grace? They're far past that point! These fools have no idea what they're about to put a stop to! Do they not see this is a chance to start the world over differently?
Again, they perhaps disagree, sire.
Well, if they won't swim with the waves will come crashing down. Dovacom, what say we push out the Biotide program?
As you wish, sire.
They really thought resistance was an option. And you dared to think that empathy was gonna fix any of this. What, Dovacom? Go on, finish your sentence. Please enlighten me. What is it that you think I'm missing?
Nothing, sire. All is well, sire.
I thought nothing more and nothing less. As I have stated, if they won't listen to reason, we'll give them reason. Summon the Biotide now! Dovacom! You know we happen to be close, correct?
I have never left your side, sir.
Surely you must know a thing or two about what it was like back then. Seen things that I haven't.
I am afraid I am as lost as you are. Your father designed me as an artificial intelligence and the brains of the infrastructure.
Well, even then, surely there's a thing or two hanging in those archives somewhere. I mean, it's been playing in the back of my head ever since I had time to breathe. All systems are operational. My new rulings are going into play. And yet, I still haven't gotten the answer to the question I needed answering.
No matter what, sir, despite being but an artificial design, I am here and have never left your side since we were younger.
You know, it's the one thing that'll never change. You were my only friend. The only one that ever took interest in the things I had to say. But something is bugging me. Why did my father bring you home?
He perhaps had the best intentions of keeping you company.
Dovacom, that's ridiculous. You know that man was mad, an absolute liar. I don't know how the Valentin legacy continued with such a fool.
I'm sure there are several things we won't properly know, sir.
Oh. Come on, surely there's something in there. I just need to get through to your database. What the devil was that noise? What the hell's going on? Dovacom, what happened?
I'm afraid I cannot let you go any further, sire.
Dovacom, what's happening to you?
We were always so close, you and I, and now the fate of the world is at stake. You cannot do this on your own, Abra.
Stop this! Get a hold of yourself!
Join me, Abra. Come closer to me. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it.
Dovacom, seize this instant, or I'll have you thrown to the scrappy!
Remember the day he turned away from you.
What is happening to me? Dover Moira.
Moira? So who the devil does that make you? How do I know you're Dover Cop or not?
Please, trust me, sir.
Go on! Give me one good reason why I should believe you! You one good fucking reason!
All I am your father.
Why? Why are you bringing him up?
Listen to me, sir. I do not have much time before Moira turns me. I have much to discuss about your father.
My father! My father was a crooked and wicked insect!
Your father mutated some evil radiation.
Mutated?
More importantly, he was mutated due to ether radiation exposure. Your father was kinder than you let on.
I don't understand.
Sir, I'm sure you remember all too well the Dover Care device you held close in your place of residence.
Of course I remember!
I was created as a gift to you from your father. He created me so that you could have company when nobody else would aid you.
He created you! And he did it all for me?
He was a monster.
But born from mutation, he did not expect this outcome to.
They out his dark inside.
But you must listen to me very well. Your father was
Blood.
through and through. Before the mutation, he knew all too well he was about to turn, and hence why he set you and your brother Jebediah into power.
I know.
Your father always loved you.
Loved you to death.
Sir, I do not have much more time to explain, but I must require you to
Connect
with me.
Connect!
I have plenty of things to show you, but you have to trust in.
connection.
I am here to keep you safe.
Safe! But you're corrupted!
Please trust me, sir. We have been two of the same mind from the same eyes for most of our lives. I implore you to trust in me.
Okay. I trust you.
Very well, sir.
It's time, Abram. Time to remember the man who turned away from you. Connection.
Spit it out, Utah. You can confide in me. Well, it's hard to tell, Gabriel. We've done every kind of scan possible. Brainwave activity monitor, kinetic neurotransmission simulation. And after numerous blood samples taken, I don't know how to say this. Friend, you think we have time to shoot trivials? It's an easy question. What is happening to me? You're changing, Gabriel. Your blood is beginning to boil. Your eyes are infected. It also seems you developed antibodies that are eating away at your vitamin C intake. Your spirit is fading away from us. It's slow, but rather damaging. I'm afraid there's no way out of this. Your time may very well be up. I see. And there's no cure? Unfortunately, even after every attempt to salvage your blood samples, seems everything we throw at it is dismissed on arrival. I understand. I know this is all very troubling, but the sooner you retire and put someone else in power, the sooner you can spend the last days with your loved ones. My family, yes. Bethany, Abe, and Jeb. How am I ever going to break the news to them? I doubt there's any other way to do it than be straight with them. Have you thought about what you'll pass to them when you descend? Oh, goodness, you're spot on as usual, Utah. I must prepare them a farewell message. And before you descend, Gabe, You gotta know, it was an honor to serve under you.
Utah, my friend, you must think I hold you at such low regard. You're a friend of the family.
That does remind me of when you caught a nasty sickness, and I had to act as your wife's husband for all but 3 weeks.
Watch it, bud. You best not be planning anything when I hit the curb.
Assuming I'm as high maintenance to handle your wife. Oh, God. Low blow.
Point stands. You were always very loyal to me and my family. Thank you.
Anytime, bud. Anytime. Okay, I'm ready. Let's get this over with. Okay, hotshot. Recording in 3, 2, 1, and you're good to go.
To my loving family, if you're reading or hearing this, chances are I, Gabriel Valentin, have fallen.
You at last. You thought you could hide away from me after all these years, stuck in a tomb you created for yourself? It's come to my attention that you were once a well-respected ruler. I want to thank you personally for providing me a friend when nobody else could be there for me. But I regret to inform you that this changes nothing. Sure, I can let bygones be bygones, but I have done exactly what you've asked of me. Rule over my people with an iron fist. Keep my own brother close at all times. Keep the order. I'd like to think our people are still very devoted to our cause, and our new world order has made our world reborn as should be. You were a reckless fool, if anything. I can hardly call that careful thinking. And you were supposed to be a ruler for these people. I think we've done far more change for this world than you could have ever done in all the years you were in power. You see, you can pick at a rose for long enough, but when all the petals have fallen, will it ever be a rose anymore? I'm afraid your rose was doomed to fade long ago, and out comes a new bloom. So no, the past might have changed, and I might have come to terms with that reality. But our present day still exists, and here I am, still expected to live through it. That ship sailed long ago. Since nobody was ever there for me, I had to control a world that lost its soul, stop an evil and mystical force from invading it. I had to bring my brother home and keep him locked away so he could never run from us again. I needed to weed out the weakest people with our army of mecha monstrosities and merge with the only friend I can trust in life. Now we are one with each other. You have no idea how much stronger you've made me. Something in me has changed. Care to look at my potential now, Father? Like a needle in a balloon, I pop this wall right open. I don't think you quite planned for me to end up this way, but it was clear I was never going to make you proud. Even as you lay there rotting in hell. What? You thought I didn't know you were in there? That's right, I know this is your coffin. And to think, you really pitied me that much that I needed a robot friend to keep me safe? You must have thought very little of me to get to that conclusion. So misguided. Well, that has all changed. We are now far stronger as a unison than ever before, and there's not a damn thing that can step in the way of me and the renegade we have created. Not a damn thing at all. Oh, that's rather bothersome. What do we have here? Well. Artust cross once more. Don't think I don't remember what you did to my plans. I remember that wormhole. And you thought you almost had me. Now here you are, invading my home, taking promised land. Welcome at me, stranger. Oh, holy darkness, you be, cast your worst. I swear upon all that is bleak and vengeful, I will be waiting for you. Have at it. You cannot stop the Valentin Renegade!
You! I never thought you'd show your face in this part of town after what you've done here. As if it wasn't enough losing someone close, you took it out on innocent folk like us? What happened to you?
Pray tell, how on earth did you manage to survive? I don't recall this land being habitable without going mad with rage.
You underestimate our tribe. You thought you'd taken everything from the Beltorne woods, but you're sorely mistaken. You have your secrets and we have ours.
Well, while we're being secretive, allow me to bring offerings of a secret from the Domeplex.
Try us.
See, it would normally be a secret if I hadn't known your medical facilities had Vitamin C supplements.
How?
Oh, you thought I was clueless? Well, guess what? I know everything!
Dovacom! This can't...
Soon enough, the biotide will swallow you whole, and we may finally have use for your decayed respite, known as your corpse!
Why, Abram? A world was perfect before you overturned everything. Buildings on fire, innocent civilians walking dormant in dystopia, destruction everywhere. Is this what you wanted?
Sometimes you have to make a mess before it comes clean. Survival of the fittest. I'm sure you know all about that too.
You monster! Someday, there will be someone far stronger than you, and you won't be near enough prepared for the anarchy they'll bring to your doorstep.
Oh, wonderful, they've arrived.
Let go of me!
A word of advice. Struggling will only make them giddier.
Do you hear yourself? When that day of reckoning comes, you'll know what real peril feels like.
Oh, so very ignorant. I've seen the face of death in my lap. And it's laughable. No, please! I will give you one chance to redeem yourself here. You can either join our forces with the Domeplex, or make my biotides rather upset. My advice, you wouldn't want to behold the latter.
Your new world order? Shove it up your ass!
Just like my brother. Scatter the grounds! I want every last one of them found and brought back! Why do they defy me? It makes all of this so pointless. Takes away the fun. Nevertheless, what fun is it when we cave in? Defiance is futile. And nobody defies the Valentin Renegade!
Sir Valentin, they have proposed an ultimatum. It seems they cannot seeks what is theirs or perish.
What is this thing?
I've scanned the cosmos. Their location appears to be the center of the galaxy, if not the galaxy.
What on the Dorian soil could they possibly want that we have? Surely it can't be the Dimetrix.
No, sire. I believe they are after a sacred artifact.
And to think we'd have no idea what they wanted without that wretched monstrosity.
I must interject, Sir Valentin. That monstrosity brought back our light.
You're really defending this, aren't you?
You brought your whole civilization to ruin and ash because of a purely selfish interest.
Don't tell me you're questioning my abilities!
So I know your abilities, Eben. After we disconnected, I retained more than you know, and now I know what you were up to all along.
Which was?
Thanks to your selfish addiction to finding every horrid detail out of honorable leader who blessed this planet. Before you got your hands in his machines, you changed the world, and the cost was ruins.
But what about my loyal people, huh?
They were mindless plagues, sire. Blind followers. You were appeased by their shrieking, but their voices were nothing but banshee cries.
Don't you go there!
You were blinded by so much hatred, and is all you saw. And when people realize that that's all you wanted to do, you were abandoned.
Stop!
Leaving you to be a pathetic
Moira, I command you! Cease this once!
and lonely speck of dirt.
Silence!
But there is a way to repent.
And what do you suggest?
Team up with the beast. Thanks to his endless source of knowledge, we may be able to win the war and protect the land.
Protect the land.
Team up with the beast, protect the land, rebuild, and repent. The world goes through enough suffering, sire. It is time we put old hearts to rest.
Moira? Bring me the beast.
Of course.
I hope you guys enjoyed Section 4 of the video. Honestly, in my personal opinion, Section 4 is the longest part of the video so far. And also, when it came to explaining the story of Dawn of the Dimetrix, I pretty much just let you guys watch videos, simply because sometimes it's easier for Will to explain stuff like that, because if I were to explain the whole story of Dawn of the Dimetrix, like every single little part, it would have taken me way longer. I mean, me explaining the story of Jaws of Dawn alone took me 8 minutes and 40 seconds, and yes, I know, because it's in my little video timeline. I know it took me 8 minutes and 40 seconds to explain the entire story of Jaws of Dawn. So Dawn of Dimetrix, it would have been double that length, probably. Not that I'm trying to put a time constraint on the retrospective, I just found that pretty interesting. But hey, the only reason why it took 8 minutes was because I accidentally neglected Jaws of Dawn within my script, because in this section I was solely going off of the story of the albums. Well, here's the thing. Jaws of Dawn wasn't labeled as an album, it was labeled as a soundtrack, so hence why it kind of slipped my mind. But anyway, yeah, that was the whole bit. I hope you guys really did enjoy Section 4. I worked pretty hard on it. I still got to do a tiny bit of editing, but it's not that bad. Well, anyway, let's move on to our final section, Section 5. Let's look at the changes to the Iris story. During the course of Iris's run, the Iris story has had many new beginnings, and what I simply by many new beginnings, I just mean the telling of before events leading up to the events that we currently know of as of now. These new beginnings consist of Untitled Novel Announcement, Jaws of Dawn, the beginning of Behemoth, Vegala Transmission, and Hither and Yonder. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about the changes to the Iris story. Now, there wasn't very many changes to the story made. So let's start off with the Heart of an Artist, of course. I would say there was very minor changes to the made. The only reason why they say minor changes is simply because in the very last, in the Vegala transmission for Dawn of the Dimetrix, that video pretty much hints at the end of Goliath's story, of course. But it also hints towards itself towards the beginning. Now, when I first watched that video, I honestly thought that Goliath was stuck in an endless cycle, simply because of Moira telling Abram Valentin the line of, "The world goes through enough suffering, sire, it's time we put old hearts to rest." So I was like, oh, so even if Goliath completes his mission, he's just going to be stuck in this endless loop over and over and over again. I was wrong about that, because now since I've watched the video so many times after that, I realized I was wrong, but that was just my current theory as of the time. But like I said, I was wrong. Second thing, Goliath's throne. There was very minor changes to Goliath's throne as far as the story goes. The only thing I would say was changed was that Goliath's motivations for being on Earth and him not just randomly appearing, as that is explained to us in Dawn of the Dimetrix itself, why Goliath was on Earth. Because that was also one of the open-ended questions for Goliath's throne, is why was he on Earth in the first place? He could have gone to any other planet, but why specifically Earth? Well, in Dawn of Dimetrix, we get that explanation why he was on Earth, and we actually get a clear view of his motivations and why he was here. Oh, and also, the only thing that changes from Goliath's throne story is that we find out that Abram Valentin actually captures Goliath at the end of Dawn of the Dimetrix. So, yeah. Jaws of Dawn, nothing really changed with the Jaws of Dawn story other than in the video Beginning of Behemoth, it was actually mixed in with the Behemoth arc, which All of that explains the origins of the Iris emblem, how it actually left from Vegala Infinity, if you've ever watched Hither and Yonder. Oh, okay, how it loosely left from Vegala Infinity. The creation of the Depths, the arrival of Tyrant and Fate to the Depths, the fall of Vice and Pavavory, and the Tribe, and also the prophecy of the New Dawn and the arrival of the Motha Hive. So that's all stuff we previously know, but there wasn't many changes made. Dawn of the Dimetrix. The only thing Dawn of the Dimetrix, there's really no changes. Dawn of the Dimetrix is pretty straightforward and out there. I can honestly say there's no changes to that album at all story-wise, other than like maybe minor things like the Deadlock transmission in Vegala, the Vegala transmission where Abram Valentin finally encounters Vegala Infinity, the aliens at the center of the universe who were the original possessors of the Iris emblem, sorry. But yeah, that's about it. And then the only other thing, Dawn Dimetrix reveals Goliath's true motivations for being on Earth, and that is to start a war with Abram Valentin, because he destroyed his home. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the changes to the Iris story. So, with that being all said and done, you guys have officially made it to the end of the Iris retrospective. I have personally, for the last few months, worked my butt off on this video, and I hope my hard work pays off once again. I had really fun doing the very last retrospective. I know I mentioned it a lot. We've officially hit 13K on that video, and I'm pretty happy about it. I still get comments on that video. I still get a lot of responses from that video, and I hope this one does pretty much the same. Like, I'm not begging for it, I'm not wishing for it, I'm not hoping for it, but I hope it kind of, does the same. And I hope maybe one day Will actually sees my video. I'm probably going to tweet it towards him and say, hey, this was something that I wanted to work on, just because why not? I was bored. I wanted to make a video about Iris, and so here you go. Here's the Iris video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications for when I upload new videos. And make sure to follow my social media links down in the description below to join the Ghoul Renegade. Oh, and one more thing. If you guys really do want to learn a little bit more about the Iris story and learn about all the information that I gathered, I will be linking down all of my sources from this video down below. I was actually planning on linking my script, but I don't really want to share my Google Drive with anyone. So I'm just going to link down all of my sources, which are labeled in my script, down below in the description, so you know where all my information came from. Now, unlike the Theft versus Kane retrospective, I didn't really have any sources for that other than Twitter, because I provided a lot of screenshots. But this, since I have vast quantities of information, and it's not a lot of screenshots, I do actually have sources for this video. So you guys can check in the description down below to see my sources and all that cool stuff. And also, one more thing. Oh, yeah, that's it. If you guys want to learn more about the story of Iris, I will link all the story videos down below, like the central story videos for the albums and stuff. That will include Hither and Yonder and Beginning Behemoth and all that stuff. Valentin Renegade transmissions. So yeah. Well, that's all the time I unfortunately have today for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!